All right, so let's talk about some of the influencer versus Trump and the White House drama that's going on right now. So, if you haven't heard, Trump just posted something on True Social that's rattling some of the influencer community and those that are being trusted, quote unquote, within the sort of sphere of media. And this is what he posted. He said, I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. Now, stay with me. I'm going to read the rest of this, but there's more than meets the eye, right? So I've been talking about how Trump and many others have had sort of this quote unquote beef, or they have been good together, but there's a reason for some of this that's happening. So he says, because they have one thing in common, low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their peoples know it. And everybody else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some quote unquote free and public publicity. Now, they think they get some clicks because they have third rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them, and their views are opposite of MAGA. I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump. Not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist, or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question, or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN, the failing New York Times, and all the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA. They're losers just trying to latch onto MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to, but when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on the world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Taylor Brown. And this is opposite of green, meaning it's an insult. But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength and not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again, and these people have no idea how to do it. But I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. And then quickly, I want to just read also what Dan Kabino said a little less than a day ago. He says, there are many dedicated people in government who could leave tomorrow and earn tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a month as so-called influencers on social media, but they choose to serve the American people instead, all while the so-called influencers talk S all day long and get paid big money for clicks and impressions. We see you with an eye emoji. Now, of course, you know Dan Scavino is the Deputy Chief of Staff, and he's also the Director of Presidential Personnel in the White House, so he's doing big things over there. Now, I want to quickly mention that, yes, it looks bad. It looks like Trump is calling out the influencers and these people, and that may be true. And here's some proof of this via a Q post, where Q says in post 1343, be careful who you follow. Some are profiting off this movement. Some are profiting off this movement. Now, going back to the beginning, it says they attempt to infiltrate, repackage, and rebrand as their own profit vehicle, destroy through misinformation, absorb the confused, reroute traffic to other platforms. Action was needed. Prevent false decodes, misinformation, kill infection, or targeted infection prior to expansion. Simple, non-direct statements made. So again, it sounds like he's talking about Tucker Carlson, who came off Fox and then went to independent platforms like YouTube and Twitter. But again, who knows? It could be other things. And then in post 4325, he says, these Democrats, in coordination with DNF assets, have launched, as known, a full-scale insurgency attack against people of the United States in an effort to regain power by any means necessary. All assets deployed, current landscape, brackets, coordinated and deliberate events to impact election. War. The future of our republic is at stake. Survival as a nation. Rise or we die. We the people. Again, meaning all assets are being deployed right now in the sense of the internet space. Now, many people are calling those posts and saying, look, Trump is directly calling out some of these people, these influencers that are doing this work of being paid and being dragged by possibly the deep state. Maybe they have their own independent view, but to some degree they're being sold out. But I also want to remind you, and again, I'm not taking a stance one way or the other because they've had some things that have been good, they've said, or supposedly that were good over the last several years in support of Trump, his policies, and many other things. But now some of these guys are coming out, and I even saw a recent Tucker Carlson video clip where he is criticizing Trump following the war, and many of the other people, Candace Owens, I'm not sure, and many others have been saying certain things that are different to what their stance was before. And it has, in some sense, sowed a lot of doubt for Trump over their audience and their viewers. And so you're seeing a lot of that stuff coming out of the Iran situation as we're seeing it play out now. But it's interesting because when Trump is saying that, or when he said a lot of that in the past, sometimes he said it to publicly distance himself optically. Like I can think about guys like John Durham or Bill Barr and these attorney generals and these special prosecutors, that if he was aligned with them, it will not look independent. So in some sense, he was doing that doing it purposefully to make it look like that he didn't just elect them or buy them out for some purpose of getting them on his side, but really it was for a deeper reason. So you're seeing a lot of that, or you've seen a lot of that if you follow Trump and some of the analysis from myself and many others over the years, where he's intentionally done this to make it look like something or for a strategic purpose for the future, and then he allows it all to come together in the end. And so this is possibly happening now. Yes, people, Trump could be calling these guys out because they were in fact deep state assets, or they were at once supporters, but then they sold out at a different time and it's for money, but also because of a different reason to get them all independent, such that they're operating on their own, and then later they come together and then say, hey, listen, we were working behind the scenes to manage certain optics and certain things, certain image management type stuff. And so, again, who knows if that's true or not? I'm just saying that there's more than meets the eye, possibly even for Trump. Don't just read Trump's posts. Don't just read what he's saying out loud and think, oh, that's gospel, that's the truth, as is. Really, there could be a strategic purpose behind closed doors. And so, again, I'm not saying that's what the case is here. I'm just saying, as truth seekers, as believers that want to be better in discerning the world, be very careful how you take information. Don't take it at face value. Don't take it as is. Wait a little bit. And also, there are other things happening behind the scenes for which it targets the enemy and other audience groups instead of us as the everyday consumer of information. So I just want to give this out as my 2 cents here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And also, if you guys want to support me, I would love the continued financial support as I'm listener supported. And I'm doing a lot of ministry and other things behind the scenes. So if you guys want to help me out, I would love that. The link is down below, givesendgo.com/chrisyoonyt. I also have PayPal, Zelle, Venmo. Love you guys. More to come. Talk to you guys very soon.